Monday night, you know what it means right now. It's Facebook Live, and um, this week we have the chance to have the first overall pick in the last Q draft, Caleb Desnoyers. Caleb, how are you? Thank you for coming on this live interview.
Yeah, hey Alex, thanks for having me today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. We have many subjects to talk about, but first of all, maybe let's start by knowing you a little bit more for people who doesn't know you. Where the passion for hockey comes from? What's your hockey background, and how did you get to the QMJHL?
Well, it really started with my family. My whole family plays hockey, from my
Hmm.
grandfathers to my two other brothers. I would say it really started with my two parents. My mom and my dad were really some huge passionate about hockey, so they gave it to me and my brothers. My brother Elliot has always been my model and my kind of my hero in hockey. So I've always watched him and grew up being a fan and his number one fan when he played for the Gaulois and Saint Hyacinthe. So yeah, this is pretty much where it started. And for me, where I played is pretty much always in Saint Hyacinthe, and with the Gaulois and with the structure with the Vert et Noir. So it was always from two corners away from home at El Pegoche, my hometown rink.
Yeah, you grew up right next to the rink, so I guess it helps. And we'll talk about your family a little bit. Why not? Since you bring it out. So you're a Moncton Wildcats right now, but there's a special affiliation with your family, and not only with your brothers, because your brother played there. But if I'm not mistaken, your uncle played in Moncton too in junior major. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah, Simon La Liberté, my mom's brother. He played here for I think in the 98, 99. So it's been a while, but him too. He's always been a model for me, and he's always there if I have some question, and he's always there to give me some tips after some games.
So obviously you have a lot of people around you that have a big hockey background. Talking about your uncle, your father, and your brother. We'll come back to this a little bit later. But we were talking about the history of the Moncton franchise in your family. How is it when you knew that you were drafted by the Moncton Wildcats? But not only that, but first overall in the queue. Get us through the feeling you had at this moment.
Yeah, well, it was such a special moment being there with all my family and all my friends were there because it was not far from home. So I already knew before the draft I was going to Moncton, but still, like when the Monsieur Chichinia commencé started talking on the stage, I was really excited and I started to be a little bit stressed, even though I knew I was shaking my leg and my mom was trying to calm me down. But when I heard my name, I was really happy. Such a great moment, and after that, just seeing all the staff and all the group with the cats, I saw a few players. It was an unbelievable moment. I'll remember for my whole life.
So, did you know right away when the Moncton Wildcat had the first pick? Because obviously we didn't know that the Wildcat would pick first until the lottery. But when I mean, you don't have to tell us if you don't want to. But did you know pretty early before the draft? Did you know just before the draft? I mean, if you're able to tell us why, maybe you could tell us.
Well, it was a few weeks before the draft. I had a
Okay.
dinner with the GM and my whole family. But no, it was not at the lottery. I think I was playing in the semis or in the final of the Telescope in Saint Hyacinthe. I had an interview just before the game with RDS, and so he already knew who had the winning ticket for the first overall pick. So I was kind of excited about it, and they just told me and my good buddy Guite, who had the first and second overall. The odds were in favor of Shikurimi, so for me it was a big surprise, and I was really happy, and I couldn't ask for a better place to be than Moncton.
Awesome. We'll come back on that place in Moncton because I think it's an amazing place to play at junior hockey. We have a little comments right now. We don't usually have that much comment in English that early in the interview, but we have Peyton Chalk who says Caleb is an amazing player. So I don't know if you know him, but you already have a fan. One of the biggest fan of the Moncton Wildcats, if not the biggest, you might know him, Brent DeBorn. How old were you at the and at what age did you start skating and playing hockey? So maybe you can come back on this a little bit. What age were you? Because hockey's in your vein, hockey's in your blood. So I guess it was pretty young.
Yeah, well, I think the moment I started just walking, I started skating. The moment I could skate right away, my parents put me on some skates and on the ice, and never stopped after that. So probably at 2 or 3.
And when did you figure out that you had a special talent in hockey? Because obviously you play at an elite level now, and obviously you have a hockey background in your family. But when did you start to realize, okay, I might make something with hockey one day?
Well, just the passion all started like the moment I put some skate on and seeing my whole family play hockey. It was really the moment, like when I saw my brother play when I was younger. It was really the moment I said I want to be a hockey player and I want to do this for the rest of my life. So really like after this in the structure and probably in the Pee Wee where we had the Quebec tournament and I could compare myself to some other really good hockey players was probably the moment I said I can do a hockey of a living, but still I got to work hard every day and never give up and still moving forward.
So another comment here, Michelle Stevens says, plays with such heart. You already have a couple of fan there, and you have I don't know if I should shoot you. I will. Maybe you can answer to that. Sean Chappelle is going with a little chirp on you. Sea Dog 7 Wildcats 4. Want to say something that maybe you're gonna take a revenge or something?
No, but I think it's probably we won 3 games and they won
Uh,
one. You know, we
okay.
can drop one on the road sometimes. So yeah, we'll come back stronger.
That's a good answer. All right. Oh well, there's someone who just answered in the comments. So says Sea Dogs uh, are low in the rankings. So that's it. People already chatting in the chat beside you and me. So that's amazing. If you have questions, guys, you're watching live. You want to ask some question to Caleb. I mean, that's why we're doing it live. So I have a lot of questions for Caleb, but if you have some, I'll be happy to refer them to Caleb. Talking about your brother, you said that he's your role model, and you saw him play before you. He played also in Moncton and then in Halifax. He was also with Team Canada, the World Junior, made it to the NHL already, going back and forth. But talk to us about the relation with your brother and how important and easy to your hockey career.
Well, we're brothers, but I feel like the we keep growing up, and I feel like we create such a good bond as brothers, and we're now like some. He's one of like my best friends, and we're always talking, always playing Xbox together because it's probably the moment of the day where we can talk a lot with all of our friends, and he's always there, and. When he doesn't play and I don't play, we love to watch each other's game and chat after the game. Just talk about what we could have done better and what we're doing well. And I think this helps. Well, especially me. It helps me like to get to improve my game and just be better every game. Just talking to him and see what I can improve.
Sometimes it can be hard to receive like advice from your family, especially your parents, maybe your brother. So is it hard to receive some advice from your brother? Do you take it harder sometimes, or is it easy because you have such a good relationship?
No, no, it's really easy. Usually, I'm the one asking for some advice, and like what I love to learn, so I just always asking for more, and just asking him what I could have done best to just, as I said, to improve my game. But sometimes it's not my brother. It's harder to get some tips from my mom, even though she's a mom, and sometimes I don't know, they might not be the one that really know the game, but she's seen a lot of hockey in her life, so she knows, and she gives me some tips sometimes, and sometimes it bothers me, and I'm not no mom, I won't listen to you. So yeah, it's funny sometimes.
Yeah, I can understand that, but let's go deeper in that if you want to. What's the best advice you had from your brother? Something that you said, okay, wow, I never thought about that, but that is such a good advice.
Well, I would say it's probably like the it's pretty much outside the ice, like about being professional. You know, like he knows like that I know how to play on the ice, so it's probably like to be like mature and always professional, to look good, and like always being on time, and like some little details that will separate you from some other players. If it's just doing some video, or in the gym, it's always some stuff that's going to bring you to another level. So I think it's mainly some tips from outside the ice that he gives me to help me the most.
Well, he made it to the NHL already, so I guess it's easier to hear his advice. And I know for a fact, because I know him a little bit. I had to do interviews a couple of times with him, and he's such a nice guy and such a nice person. If you watch, I mean, I'll be happy to see you again, Elliot, and I wish you all the best. What's the best tip you said about your mother? She didn't play a lot of hockey, but she gives some good tips. So, what would you say is the best tip you received from your mother?
Well, it's pretty much always like the same thing about when I have some bad games, and I'm just like, I don't want to talk about it, and just forget it. But like she's always talking about confidence, and like just being like don't think too much, don't like be stressed about like some stuff like around, and like in on the ice. So it's pretty much just to stay calm, and having my confidence, because this is where I'm at my best. So she's pretty much like on the more the mental side, and even sometimes she's talking about like my game, and you can take more your time on that. And it's always about confidence, as I said. So like be confident, take your time, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's sometimes it's different to hear it, but from your mom, but still it helps me.
How important is family and maybe the entourage around you, the people around you are important to play at the level you play. So what I mean is people see the athletes, but sometimes they forget that most of the time behind them they have a whole crew, including the family that helps, and it's absolutely essential to play at this level. So maybe explain to us how important it is to have a solid crew behind you when you play at this level.
Well, I think that I take it as an advantage. Like my, as I said before, my whole family they're passionate about hockey, so they always watch either my game or my brother's game, and they're, as I said, they're always giving me some tips, and we're always chatting about the games. And it's not always like my brother and parents. My dad and my mom, they're always there to watch, and they're the one that helps me. But also like I have my stepdad who played in the NHL, and I have my uncle, as we talked about him earlier. So my whole family really helps me, and I think, as I said, it's an advantage that helped me to be where I'm at right now.
So that's awesome. And talking about the people around you, we were talking off air about Haliot and stuff, but uh, I think you became friend with one of Elliot's former teammate, and I'm talking about one of the guys I like the most, one of the athlete I like the most on this planet, Jack Peltier. Maybe talk to us why you became a little bit friend with Jack, and when he was in Moncton, I guess.
Well, Elliot and Peltz were really good friends. So yeah, one time, in we came down for the new year, and all the a few boys, probably like 10 boys from the Wildcats, came to our Airbnb, and Peltz was in those boys, and all his family was there too with us. They all came to our Airbnb, and he's a funny guy, so we had a lot of fun. And even this summer, sometimes him and Elliot, they're calling, keeping in touch, and he's always there to have fun and talking about a lot of stuff and his experience. So it's fun to hear about a guy with such a great work ethic and such a good hockey player.
Yeah, I don't have any problem thinking that Jack would talk a lot about a lot of stuff. He's a big talker. We
Mm.
all know that. He's such a nice guy, and he's one of the athletes I like the most on this planet. Like I said, you were talking about playing Xbox with your brother. What game do you guys play together?
The new Modern Warfare 3, the Call of
Okay.
Duty. Yeah, we we play a lot sometimes. Far from home, sometimes you don't have a lot of stuff to do. So just playing on the Xbox, it keeps us in touch. Well, me and my brother, and also with all my friends, and the whole Fortnite was there, so we played a bit in the last few days. So yeah, it was fun.
As for now, we actually know maybe it's going to change in the future, but as for now, we know who's the best player between you and Iliad, but who's the best gamer right now?
Ooh, there's no doubt it's me. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best gamer.
Yeah, you're the best gamer, so you finish with all the good stats. You chirp on Iliad sometimes because you're the best gamer.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes he's terrible, so we have some chat with me and my friends.
So he's better on the eyes than he is with a first person shooter, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Do you play any other games or?
Well, we used to play NHL, but we feel like the game's getting kind of boring. Always the same every year. So no, we pretty much play or Rainbow Six Siege sometimes. But yeah.
So you like guns when you play? That's the.
Well, yeah, yeah.
All right.
It
Awesome.
depends.
All right. Awesome. Do you play often? I mean, is that like a pastime? Or is like a passion?
No, no, no. I would not say it's a passion.
Okay.
It's more of a pastime. Like sometimes you get back to your billet after a long day and you're just tired. So you hop on the Xbox and sometimes I'm playing with the boys from the Wildcats and we have a lot of fun. I think the whole team pretty much play every day after practices and stuff. But like I never play before games and on weekends, so it's pretty much in weeks.
Awesome. All right. I have a lot of questions, but there's a lot of question in the comments too. I'm actually pretty surprised, especially in English. Michelle wants to know what's your favorite thing about being a Moncton Wildcat?
Well, I think it's just to wear the logo, represent the brand. Having such a nice barn and nice facilities, I think this is the main thing. Like you're so proud to play for to be a Wildcats and represent Mr. Irving and the whole organization.
Yeah, I mean the rink is absolutely awesome. If you never went to the Centre Avenir, I mean it's an NHL rink, just a little bit smaller, but it's absolutely fantastic. I actually love watch hockey over there. Um, we have people that here say, from day one in Moncton Wildcats, you fit right in. Keep up the great work and ethic. Your dreams will be fulfilled. I mean, you have already a lot of fan, Caleb. How do you react? I mean, people are already liking you a lot in Moncton.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your support every night, even when we lose. It's really appreciated in Moncton in the room from all the boys.
All right, we've talked a lot about your family and stuff, but let's talk about hockey a little bit because obviously you're a hockey player. I want to have your thought on this. I mean, when you see this, and I'm sure you know what it is. When you see this, what comes to mind? I mean, maybe explain to the people what it is first.
Well, it was my first Q goal in my career. I think it was my third game in Charlottetown, and my whole family was there. They made the trip to PEI and came to Moncton the next game. So yeah, it was a great moment. I'll remember for my whole life. As we see, probably a lucky rebound and just trying to find the back of the net and. Yeah, it was a great moment, and I'll remember it for my whole life for sure.
Did your phone explode after that? I mean, did Did you receive a lot of a message? Did your brother text you? Did he watch the game? I mean, did you had a lot of message when you came back to the dressing room?
Well, yeah, a few notification. All my friends and buddies from home, they all texted me, and I saw a couple stories. But yeah, of course, as you talked, my brother also texted me, but my parents were there, so they didn't text me for the goal.
Yeah, so they were there. So so how nice is it to score in front of your parents? And I mean, um, uh, do they watch a lot of game? Because obviously, if you're from Saint Hyacinthe, Moncton, and the Maritimes, it's actually pretty far, and the game was in Charlottetown. Yeah. So so how nice was it that they could be in the stands?
Well, it was amazing. They knew before the game. They both texted me, and they said, we know you're scoring your first goal tonight. I'm really close to my family, so it was the moment was just better and more great that they were there to live the moment with me. So yeah, it was something special to have them in the stands.
Awesome. We have Owen Gale here. Said you probably don't have a favorite, but who's your favorite player uh, to play with? Oh, okay. I thought it was a question about the NHL. But do you have like a do you have a teammate that's easy to play with? Someone that you looked up to in your team? Maybe that's the way to ask the question.
Well, as we all know, Johan Loshing's is a really good hockey player. He's such a good shooter, so I really love to play with him right now. We have a really good chemistry outside of the ice. So on the ice, it's also there, and we just love to play with each other. And he's such a good hockey player, so it's really easy to play with him. And it's yeah, it's fun to see him play even on the ice when I'm with him. So yeah.
Do you guys talk about his goal of the year last year, the baseball call? Like, does it show in the dressing room sometimes? Like, do you guys talk about, or maybe because it's last year, you don't talk about that much?
No, no, not really, not about that goal. He's scoring goals every game, and every game it's highlight goals. So we talk about those goals, not last year's goal.
All right, I have I mean, I've never seen that in English. I'm super happy that you guys are doing the job for me right now. I have another good question for you. Thoughts on playing against your teammate from last year, Gite, last weekend? Yeah, how is it to play against friends and stuff, and a guy who's been drafted so high also?
Well, it's always fun to see all my buddies. When we played also against Rouen, I had a good buddy, and when especially when we play against team from Quebec, you always see some new guys. So yeah, last weekend it was fun. He's one of my really good friends, Git. So we talked before the game, and not after the game. We wanted to talk, but I think the score was not in their favor, so they were not really happy. So we didn't talk after the game, but also during the game, we had some fun, just some little smiles and sometimes some little chirp to have some fun. But yeah, it was really nice to see him again. We saw each other like 2 weeks before that at the PI for the World
The
U17.
Yeah.
But even though we were really happy to see each other, it's always fun.
Yeah, you might want to talk about that. The U17. How did it go?
Well, it went really well. We had a really good team and a really good coaching staff there, and a really good GM, Richie Thibault, or GM with the Cats. So yeah, it was really fun with Hockey Canada. It's always so professional, and we have some really good time. Well, actually, it was my first time with the program, but my brother told me some good stuff about playing for Hockey Canada and wearing the flag on you. So it was a great moment, and just I'll always remember it for my whole life to winning gold in front of some fans from Canada and from the Maritimes.
Yeah, obviously, your brother did play for Team Canada at the World Junior. But I have a question for you. How did you react when you knew he could possibly make the team? Because he came out a little bit out of nowhere. I mean, he was a good player, and but he kind of dominates that year. And but he came a little bit out of nowhere, and made his name and made it through Team Canada. How did you guys react in the family when you knew that the big brother would make the team?
Well, we were really not surprised. We know how good he is, and he had a role there. You know, he's not the most flashy player, but
Mhm.
he's a two-way centerman. So he had as I said, a role. He was more third and fourth line. So it was more about playing defense, and he could he can bring some offense too. He has some skills, but. With Hockey Canada, the World Juniors, you have some good players, and so for him, it was more about showing how good he is on the defensive side. So yeah, for us, it was not a surprise. We had a good time there in Moncton for the first time. Well, I was there, but it was the COVID year, so
Yeah.
we had to go back home, and I missed the one that you won gold in the summer because I couldn't go there because it was my camp with the Gaulois last year.
Awesome. If you're watching live and you have questions, it's pretty much last call because in 4 or 5 minutes we're gonna get to the French interview. So if you have a question in English for Caleb, that's pretty much last call. I do have a question that fits in or kind of a rapid fire that we do at the end of the interview usually. Do you like to fish on your day off? Are you a fisher?
Well, yeah, I love to
Oh, you
fish.
are.
Yeah, my grandfather who passed away a few years ago was a big fisherman. He showed me a lot of stuff, and in the summer I love to go fish with my buddies. But right now on day offs, we well since I'm in Moncton, even my billet dad's is a really big fisherman, so I went for some striped bass with him. More in the summer. Right now, it's kind of hard to go fish with all that snow. So, yeah.
Awesome. Vicky has a question for you. Do you get homesick, and how do you get over that mental state to play? Like, obviously, you guys are used to not be at home because you played, but for you, especially, you played at home in your M18. So, do you feel homesick sometimes? Is it hard for you to be far from your parents, from your family?
No, no. Well, I have a really good billet here in Moncton. They make me feel like I'm home. They're like second parents for me. So I really enjoyed to be here. But you know, sometimes I miss my family. We're going to play in Quebec in a few days. So I can't wait to see all my family and friends. But yeah, we're FaceTiming every day. Me and my mom, and always calling my dad probably 2 times a day. So sometimes I'm not really. I'm not missing them too much. Like it's and I have all the boys at the ring, so yeah, it's I don't have the time to get bored here, so no, I'm not really homesick.
All right, Owen Gale has a question for you. Which team do you like playing against in the queue? Is there a barn or a team that, for some reason, so far you've had success and you like to play against?
Well, I would say that we always play against teams in the Maritime, so it's always fun to play against some different teams. But here in the Maritimes, I think Wildcats and the Mooseheads are pretty much the two best teams in the Maritimes. So it's always fun to play against them, and especially also at a ring. But the barn that I enjoy the most in the Maritimes probably also the Scotiabank Center. It's
In
always
the
fun.
Halifax.
They have some good crowds. So yeah, it's always fun to play there.
This one is a tricky one. You don't have to answer it, but your favorite goalie to score on. Do you have a friend goalie that you like to score on? I don't know.
I love to score on practice on Steinman. This is the goalie I enjoy the most to score on.
And is he like competitive? Does he hate to get scored even in practice?
Yeah. Sometimes he can get frustrated after a few goals in practice, but he's such a nice guy. We have two really nice goalies, so we sometimes we have some little chirps, but yeah.
Of course you do. All right, rapid fire. Why 18 is the number you choose? You chose.
I wanted to have number 10, but I couldn't because Merce already had it. But my father's birthday is the 10th, and my mother's birthday is the 8th. So you had them, and it's 18. So it'll probably be my new number.
All right, funniest guy in the dressing room.
I would say Alex, merci.
Oh, mercy. Okay. Anything that you do? Maybe I don't know. Does he play tricks with the guys? Is he just a funny guy?
Yeah, well, I would say both.
Oh.
He's such a nice guy and a funny guy. So every time you see him, you just want to laugh, and he's so fun to be around. So yeah, Merce. I would say Merce.
Well, Caleb, you were a bit worried about your English for the interview, but we've done all the time we need, and it's a 30 minutes interview, and you've done amazing. Thank you for everyone for asking questions. That was absolutely fantastic. And Caleb, you have not finished yet because we have to do the French interview, and I will see you on the French part on the French page. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. Thank you, guys.